I have always stood against anti-Semitism, even at times when the fucking ADL did not. Okay? Suck my dick. You bald piece of shit. Anyway.
Should not be empowered. People who spout prejudice should not be platformed. This is a moment.
Yeah, he's like, please ban him. Please ban him. Just take my word for it. Please. He's anti-Semitic. I promise. He says genocidal things about Jewish people. What an insanely fucking slanderous thing to say. You are supposed to be the guy. You are supposed to be the dude that knows what anti-Semitism looks like. Imagine dropping the ball this spectacularly. Like, listen to me. I don't even think I'm this relevant to the anti-Zionist cause. Okay? He's so horny for deplatforming that this is like, I've become I've become this white whale that he's chasing down for some fucking reason. Okay. Let's say you pressure institutions hard enough that Twitch actually enforces some sort of ban, okay? And then what? I go on YouTube. I start my, I continue live streaming on fucking YouTube. YouTube is not going to take these kinds of pressures seriously. It's just totally and utterly ridiculous because guess what? Even if I'm no longer on Twitch, even if I get banned on Twitch, you think that the overwhelming majority of Americans are going to turn around and be like, you know what? I think it was awesome that Israel has been doing this unlimited child holocaust for the past 19 months. I actually changed my mind because some random fucking dumbass named Hasanabi got banned off Twitch last night at the Capitol Jewish Museum. Anti-Semitic violence has no place in the United States. We're praying for their families and all of our friends at the Israeli embassy. Okay? Now, the thing is like, I want to make a comparison here to something important, okay? This is something that I've noticed and something that I've talked about, okay? Something that I've noticed and something I've talked about is that in the United States of America, our interests are so invested in simply defending Israel, whatever violent form Israel takes, defending that unconditionally, that those who also defend Israel are considered a part of the in-group of being Jewish. You are more a Jew, even if you are Christian, even if you're a German Christian, you are more of a Jew in the eyes of all of these people that love Israel. Remember, way more Christian Zionists out there than there are Jewish Zionists. Important to recognize. But you are seen as more of a Jewish person than an Israeli Jew that got beat up by fucking Kahanists in Brooklyn 2 weeks ago when not a single peep was made by mainstream media. That was an Israeli Jewish woman that got beat up by rabid sociopathic Kahanist terrorists on Brooklyn streets, and not a single peep was made by mainstream media, despite the fact that she was literally a person who has an Israeli fucking passport. Why? Because she was an anti-Zionist. Okay? If you are a Jew and anti-Zionist, you're no longer a Jew in the eyes of those who want to make a statement about Israel. And if you're not Jewish, but you work for Israel, if you're not Jewish and you literally go and you fucking serve in the IDF, you are more of a Jewish person in the eyes of the media than someone who literally is an anti-Zionist Jew with a fucking Israeli passport. It is ridiculous. It is fucking ridiculous. Clearly, these motherfuckers don't give a shit about anti-Semitism, okay? They don't care. Like, what are we doing? What the fuck are we doing here? And the dangerous underlying premise there is you're not a Jewish person if you're not pro-Israel, okay? The dangerous underlying premise here is the notion, the false notion that all Jews are monolithic and love Israel and love the child murder that Israel is doing, they are fully on board. It's like literally offensively saying, if you don't like ISIS, you're Islamophobic. It blows my fucking mind. And the people that present this argument are so brain broken, they're so oblivious to how much resentment has calcified against Israel for good reason, that they don't realize that they are serving an anti-Semitic purpose when they behave like this, when they literally make blood libel the reality in the eyes of so many people that are uninitiated, that don't really think about these things at all. They don't recognize what they're doing in terms of manifesting more anti-Semitic thought. They realize, don't be ridiculous. No, they don't. Plenty of people. So I think my opinion on this has changed surely. Yeah. Now that this guy's gone from this one fucking platform, okay? Now that we have banned this one guy from this one fucking platform, I'm saying 10M Israel highs every morning, as a matter of fact. Like, is that how you think this is going to work? Like, what are you, fucking stupid? Are you insane? It's just so stupid. The Anti-Defamation guy just defamed you. Yeah. No, it's the Always Defamation League. It's the Apartheid Defense League, or also known as the Always Defaming League. Anyway.
Moment when we need to look ourselves in the mirror and say, we've got to stop this because the consequences are deadly. But all of us need to call it out. I'm thinking about the New York Times.
They think you are much more important and prominent than you actually are. In a way, they're glazing you technically by hyping you up to this extent. I know. I think part of the reason why they're doing that is because I am one of the I am actively working against their best interests. If their goal is to make sure, on the one hand, continue brainwashing young Americans into being pro-Israel, specifically young American Jews into being pro-Israel, a guy who actively fights against anti-Semitism, who also is a hardline anti-Zionist, is a big threat. This is why I kept repeating over and over again, like, for these guys, they don't give a fuck about Candace Owens, because they can always point to Candace Owens and say, see, she's anti-Semitic. They can always point to someone like Dan Bilzerian and say, obviously, this guy is anti-Semitic. That's why he hates Israel. But for someone like myself, they have to stretch as hard as they fucking can to be like, I promise you he's anti-Semitic. Just take my word for it. He's so anti-Semitic. Why is he anti-Semitic? Because he contextualizes how militant resistance exists against the apartheid state that has been doing an apartheid for 77 fucking years and now doing a unlimited genocide. Like, that's the reason why I'm anti-Semitic. Most Americans agree with me. Shut the fuck up. But that's it. Let's see what the majority report said.
Live, who went on CNN and went after Hassan Piker, who, by the way, was just detained for his speech coming back into the country. This is absolutely despicable.
This is fascist.
But all of us need to call it out. I'm thinking about the New York Times doing a gauzy profile a few weeks ago of this gamer, Hassan Piker, who regularly employs awful genocidal rhetoric against Jewish people in the Jewish state.
That's a heinous smear. That's defamation.
I would sue over that if I was Hassan.
That's fucking.
That is 100% slanderous.
Go for it.
I know, but like, I don't think there's a court out there that will be favorable to my opinion here. You know what I mean? Also, once again, a costly endeavor that I do not want to engage with. I feel like it's a distraction.
He should. He's got money. He should sue him.
He should
Honestly.
be
He
wonderful.
That is beyond what I was expecting. I had not seen that clip.
Well, they've
I
shown
don't-
the. Sorry,
Yeah.
Bender. I got heated. Go on.
No, it's. I mean, that is a direct accusation of a very specific thing that Hassan has not done. And if I was Hassan, I would look into a legal my legal rights here and go after them.
What is happening with Twitter, man? Work, Twitter. Work! Fucking Twitter. God damn it. Fuck
is
you,
John.
Twitter. Fuck you. You are such a piece of shit website. I can't even watch this. Someone linked me the fucking OG video with the time code. Someone is on the sideline waiting to make their bones from something like this. Keep that in mind. Yeah, also, I don't even think he just wants me to be deplatformed. I think, there are plenty of people out there at this point that would love if I didn't just get deplatformed, but got deplatformed from Earth at this point. Ugh. At a certain point, taking legal action and slander defamation becomes important when it actually does impact your profile to a significant event. Is there a point where you would do this? Does Lolo know you are his client? Yes, he knows. I talked to him this morning. Anyway, he had this take. Violence begets violence. Palestinians have been getting massacred in an ongoing genocide for the last 18 months. 2 diplomats for Israel, 1 German and born and Christian, are assassinated clearly for political reasons, whether you agree or not. This is not anti-Semitism. Israel makes the world an unsafe place for Jewish people, not simply because of their decades of countless war crimes and crimes against humanity, but because Zionism itself aimed to conflate Jewishness with a fascist ethno-state. It may be the case these people were actively trying to find a solution for peace, which is very sad. But just like the indiscriminate killing in Gaza, where 80% of fatalities since March, as reported by the IDF itself, are civilian, that is an inevitable result of mass violence. Hold on. I will not stand here and say nothing when every media outlet and politician calls this anti-Semitic and tries to distract from the very serious and underlying reality here. Shame on you, charlatans and cowards. Sorry to chat about earlier. It wasn't an LGBTQ event. The museum was opening an exhibit on LGBTQ Jews soon, and the group of people I met at the police station were referencing that. Okay. You should sue, though, because your case is clear-cut, can provide precedent that other smaller creators could use for cover. Sure, you don't care, but what if they use the same heat later for Frogan or Dennis? Shouldn't you preempt that? I'll think about it. It is kind of wild that he got so horny that he just, like, hit me with a total fucking textbook case of defamation. But I suspect that the ADL has, like, incredible lawyers, you know what I mean?
Has not done. And if I was Hassan, I would look into a legal my legal rights here and go after this guy and the organization he's speaking for. Honestly,
The ADL has shown that they can be cowed by money. They accused rightly Elon Musk of anti-Semitism when he endorsed the Great Replacement theory on social media. Then it's just like a little weird. Suddenly, they were really pro Elon Musk.
Maybe less money and more just, oh, you're going to work with us because we're a fascist government doing fascism, and you have the ear of the Americans.
I mean, I think that it could be a coincidence. But also, Starlink started to work with the Israeli government, and then what do you know? A year later, they're turning the other cheek when Elon Musk is endorsing the far-right German party that says that we should leave the Holocaust in the past and quit remembering, and then doing Nazi salutes at the inauguration, repeated, as AOC said at the time, for emphasis and clarity. They've shown that they can look the other way on that, but
Could we rewind a little bit just so I
Yeah.
could fully hear exactly what he
Yeah,
accused
yeah.
Hassan of doing? Because if he had claimed Hassan was sharing anti-Semitic rhetoric, that'd be a little bit harder to go after, because you could claim a lot of things are anti-Semitic. That's sort of in the eye of the beholder, right? But
Sort of
we have
ADL's
made
job.
clear. We have made it very clear over this past year, especially from people like him and the ADL, that accusing someone of genocide is a very specific framework. And for you to
that's what's so crazy. He's saying that I'm doing genocidal rhetoric against the Jews while his entire purpose is defending the state of Israel while Israel is doing a fucking genocide. Like, my anti-genocide position, he claims, is a genocidal statement against all Jews. Like, what a psychotic thing to fucking say. I can't wait for every single drama loving slop tuber to also turn around and be like, this is Hassan. Hassan did this, for the record. Because I'm sure that's coming as well. Professional grade narcissism. Yeah.
declare that someone is using genocidal rhetoric against a specific group of people, that is slander. And without a doubt, Hassan should go after them if that's indeed what he said, and I'm pretty sure he did.
Let's hear it.
But all of us need to call it out. I'm thinking about the New York Times doing a gauzy profile a few weeks ago of this gamer, Hassan Piker, who regularly employs awful genocidal rhetoric against Jewish people in the Jewish state. Like, extremists should not be empowered. People who spout prejudice should not be platformed. This is a moment when we need to look ourselves in the mirror and say, we've got to stop this because the consequences are deadly. But all of us need to call.
But I mean, do you see how he conflates like Jewish people broadly with a Jewish state, like the ethno-nationalist state of Israel? Yeah. And to be fair, like he's doing just like we were talking about with the South Africans, right? He's trying to make their inability to hold control over a state, a piece of land, as an ethno-nationalist state. Because we know that a lot of people in Israel who are Zionists think that the one state solution, the state where they have equal representation for Palestinians, equal representation for Israel, is the genocide they're referring to. They're not referring to the total eradication of Israelis, Jewish Israelis by Arab. They're referring to a changing of the structure that prevents there from being an ethno-nationalist state, an apartheid state, which provides special rights for Israelis and that creates a permanent underclass of Palestinians. And unlike in the situation with the white South Africans, they are able to more readily reference and index the actual genocide that happened to Jewish people and cloak themselves in the veil of people who, are
Yeah, Randy Fine, by the way, in response to the killing of the Israeli embassy staff in Washington, a Republican congressman went on Fox News and suggested Gaza be nuked like Hiroshima and Nagasaki. This is deemed an appropriate response to the killing of 2 Zionists. Then what is an appropriate response to the murders of tens of thousands of Palestinians? Zionists routinely call for genocide after experiencing a fraction of the violence they subject Palestinians to daily. Hassan gets targeted by shitlib and neo-Nazi slop tubers and communities for being anti-genocide. Now Hassan supposedly regularly employs genocidal rhetoric. Give me a fucking break. Yeah. Yeah, this is basically, Adolf Hitler reincarnated.
The fact of the matter is the Palestinian cause is an evil one.
Yeah, and Congressman, there is a ceasefire deal on the table right now that the White House is hoping both Israel and Hamas will sign on to. Does this shooting change anything when it comes to the course of the war or the negotiations to end it?
Well, I think it speaks to the importance of the only end of the conflict is complete and total surrender by those who support Muslim terror. In World War II, we did not negotiate a surrender with the Nazis. We did not negotiate a surrender with the Japanese. We nuked the Japanese twice in order to get unconditional surrender. That needs to be the same here. There is something deeply, deeply wrong with this culture, and it needs to be defeated.
We heard in Brooks.
The fact of the matter.
Freak. Fucking freak, dude. Absolute freak. I do want to explain something to people, okay? I want to explain something to people. First of all, the edits on this was so damaging, okay? First of all, JD Vance comes in hot. My heart breaks for the 2 Jews who were murdered last night at the Capitol Jewish Museum. Anti-Semitic violence has no place in the United States. We're praying for their families and our friends at the Israeli embassy where the 2 victims work. Then he gets corrected. He goes, my heart breaks for Sarah Milgram and Yaron Lishinsky, who were murdered